Alright, so good afternoon everyone, especially to Ma'am Karen, our professor in Baptist Voice Bible College. Alright, I would like to say thank you so much to Ma'am Karen that allowing me to have a very good lesson for sharing to every one of us, especially we can learn more uh, as we are learning to be educators someday. Alright, so today we're going to talk about phobias and personality disorder. I know and I'm sure that you guys familiar with this topic, but let us go more deep and deeper to learn more and to know well about this topic. So let us talk first with personality disorder. Personality refers to distinctive set of traits, behavioral styles, and patterns that make up our character or individuality, how we perceive the world. Our attitudes, thoughts, and feelings are all part of our personality too. People with healthy personalities are able to cope with normal stresses and have no trouble forming relationships with family, friends, and co-workers. By the way, we all have personality disorder. But if we have a healthy personalities, we don't have any problem. Alright, we can control ourselves, we can manage our life, and we have no problem with others at all. Alright, those who struggle with a personality disorder. Alright, there's a many people, they have great difficulty dealing with other people. That's true. They tend to be inflexible, oh my goodness, rigid, of course, and unable to the changes and demands of life. Although they feel that their behavior patterns are normal and right. That is the problem. You know, some people they have their characters like rigid. Okay, rigid is something it cannot be changed. Okay, you cannot change them. They stand what they believe. They just keep doing what they want to do, and they are very inflexible. All right, it's like it's so hard to control them. It's hard to tell them. It's hard to teach them because they always believe that they're just normal. They have no problem at all. So let us talk about the causes of personality disorders. Some experts believe that events occurring in early childhood exert a powerful influence upon behavior later in life. This is beginning started since we are living as a kid. Okay. Others indicate that people are genetically predisposed to personality disorders in some cases. However, environmental factors may cause a person who is already genetically vulnerable and uh, vulnerable to develop a personality disorder. Alright, it's a different belief. Alright, but for me, I believe it's happened already since we was a kid. Alright, but some of us we able to control it, but so many people they don't. And by the way, because influenced by the environment also cause them to be like that. So let us talk about types personality disorder. Right? Actually, there are many formally identified personality disorders, each with their own set of behaviors and symptoms. Okay, many of these fall into three different categories of clusters. Alright, we have three clusters here that we're going to know about the types personality. Alright, even they came from onset behavior or symptoms, but this is counted as a three cluster. Alright, number one, cluster A, odd or eccentric behavior. Number two, cluster B. There are people who include with the cluster B, they are dramatic, emotional, and erratic behavior. Last one is cluster C, anxious, fearful behavior. So now, cluster A. Cluster A is schizoid. Schizoid personality disorder. Uh, these are introverted, withdrawn, solitary, emotionally cold, and distant. Why? They are often absorbed with their own thoughts and feelings and are fearful of closeness and intimacy with others. I'm sure you met some people like this. For example, a person suffering from schizoid personality is more of a daydreamer than a practical action taker. They just like believe on their dream. They just sit down and was thinking a lot. They imagine, but the action is just try to away from people. Number two is paranoid personality disorder. The paranoid personality disorder is included with the cluster A. Alright? The essential feature for this type of personality disorder is interpreting the actions of others as deliberately threatening or demeaning. Demeaning. People with paranoid personality disorder are untrusting, unforgiving, and prone to angry or aggressive outbursts without justification because they perceive others as unfaithful, disloyal. This is from their mind. That's what they always thinking, that nobody should be trusted, nobody should be unforgiving. Alright, they fast to get angry, they perceive others unfaithful. Okay, disloyal. So meaning they are deceitful. Alright, this kind of paranoid. Another one. Another one is schizotypal or schizotypal. Alright, schizotypal personality disorder is a pattern of peculiarities best describes those with a schizotypal personality disorder. People may have odd or eccentric manners, of speaking or dressing. Okay, strange, outlandish, or paranoid beliefs and thoughts are common. Okay, people with uh, schizotypal personality disorder have difficulties forming relationships and experience extreme anxiety in social situations. They may react inappropriately or not react at all during a conversation, or they may talk to themselves. This is happen to every one of us. Okay, sometimes we take some time talk to ourselves, but we know that what we are be doing. Okay, we know what we're doing, and we stop it. We can stop. We can control it. But this kind of people that they have schizotypal disorder, they act to talk to themselves. Better to spend time talk with the uh, in the with other people when come to social situation. Sometimes they don't know what should they talk. Okay, they don't know how to speak well, but they can speak well to themselves. All right, let us talk about cluster B. I'm so interested with this cluster B. Cluster B, the first one is talk about antisocial personality disorder. I hate this one. People with antisocial personality disorder characteristically act out their conflicts and ignore normal rules of social behavior. They just they just can't do just a normal rule. Alright? The same the picture that you see. These individuals are impulsive, irresponsible, and callous. Typically, the antisocial personality has a history of legal difficulties, belligerent and irresponsible behavior, aggressive, and even violent relationships. Alright, violent relationship here means like uh, they can make some problem if like they are your friend or they are your brother, sister, they the one make a problem. Okay, they the one that can be push you or kick you or do something make a problem, destroy some glasses, destroy some plates, somehow like this. They can be make violent to destroy between your relationship with him or with her. They show no respect for other people and feel no remorse about the effects of their behavior on others. They show no care. Okay, they did that and then they feel nothing. Okay, that's the meaning of remorse. They feel nothing happen. Like the picture, you see that they eat banana, and this is a very simple rule. After we eat something, and then we throw it in the trash can, right? Or we just keep it. But they just don't care, and they can't do it even just a no moral. All right. So this is also included in the cluster B. Borderline personality disorder. I'm sure some of us, we sometimes when we happy and we smile outside, but we have a lot of problem inside. Some of us, we do have, but people that borderline personality disorder, they have different. Okay, people that they have are unstable in several areas, including interpersonal relationships, behavior, mood, and self-image. All right. Abrupt and extreme mood changes. All right. Sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they act like they have a lot of problems. Sometimes they cry. Right. So the stormy interpersonal relationships and unstable and fluctuating self-image, unpredictable and self-destructive actions. All right, let me explain a little bit about this. Or let me say, people sometimes when they have the self-image, sometimes they look to themselves that they are good or they are better at all than other people. But sometimes they look to themselves as a bad person. So they can be make it destructive to destroy themselves. All right. The action characterize the person with borderline personality disorder. They have the fluctuating self-image. So I know we sure that sometimes we have problem in our life, but we still keep smiling because we know that the Lord is good and the Lord is our King. He can do, he can everything under His control. That's why we keep smiling. We keep happy. But people that they have borderline different. Sometimes they show that they're so happy, right? And sometimes they show that they're sad, but it's not about they hiding. Okay, this is the action because they have self-image. Their self-image is changes. Another one include with the cluster B. All right, talk about narcissistic personality disorder. What is the narcissistic? Right, people with narcissistic personality, of course, have an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Right, they feel like they are the most important in this world. They love themselves. Of course, I do, and you guys do as well. We love ourselves, but nobody important than other because we are the same under the Lord. All right, but people that they have here, they are people that they have narcissistic personality disorder. They act to love themselves as more important than everything, and are absorbed by fantasies, ultimate, okay, unlimited success, okay, and seeks constant attention. The narcissistic personality is oversensitive to failure and often complains, okay, of multiple. Why they complain? Because they feel they are important. Okay, they have to complain. They have to do something to make that they are better. All right. So again, the narcissistic personality is oversensitive to failure and often complains of multiple somatic symptoms, prone to extreme mood swings between self-admiration and insecurity. These people tend to exploit interpersonal relationships. All right. When you have a friends and your friend show to you that they're more important than you, it's like it can be destroyed. Okay, it can be destructive your relationships. Relationship is between person to another person. We are the same. Maybe you're important, but I am important as well. Like that. Let's go to cluster C. Avoidant personality disorder. All right. So avoidant, the word avoid, try to avoid people, but what is the avoidant personality disorder? Avoidant personalities are often hypersensitive to rejection, all right, and are unwilling to become involved with others unless they are sure of being liked. This is somehow like some people, we don't want to gather, we don't want to be with other. But different, okay, different, because sometimes people they want to be alone. They want to take some time, relax, sometimes to study, sometimes to do something. They like to be uh, work. Okay, they want to be single like that. But different with in the cluster C, that avoidant personality disorder that we are talking about. Because this kind of people, they just unwilling. Okay, sometimes we want to do it, but so because we're busy, these people they just want to reject, right? They want to reject something. They don't want to join. They don't want to do whatever that people want to be. They just don't. Okay, they just don't. Excessive social discomfort, timidity, timidity, because they fear of criticism, okay, and avoidance of social or work activities that involve interpersonal. Of course, when you want to have a very good interpersonal with others people, of course you need to join with the social work, right? Do some activities, you know, group, do anything. But if you always alone and you don't want to be, you fast with rejection, you just don't care. It's like you contact all characteristic of the avoidance personality. You know what? They are fearful of saying something considered foolish by others. All right, so that's them because they fear of criticism. If you don't want to be criticized, criticized, so you just want to be alone. That is your fear, all right? So they are fearful, and then they worry they will be blush or cry in front of others, right? Some of you experience that. Sometimes we don't like somebody bully us, okay? But here we just don't like, but sometimes we still join, okay? But them they just worry too much, all right, and scare and fear to get crying in front of people, okay? So another one, let's talk about this dependent personality disorder. Again, this dependent personality disorder is included in the cluster B, cluster C. All right. Okay, so people with this dependent personality disorder may exhibit, okay, ex- exhibit a pattern of dependent, of submissive behavior. Okay, you can look to the picture, right? They all relies on others, rely on the others like they cannot make their own decision, right? Some people is like that. Okay, sometimes we maybe sometimes look like us. Sometimes we go to pastors, sometimes we go to some people that should be trusted. We ask them about some advice, but the decisions still depends on ourselves. But this depend on dependent personalities or the people that they have, they relying on others to make decisions for them. They require excessive reassurance and advice, and are easily hurt by criticism or disapproval. They feel like if they they feel like uncomfortable and helpless if they are alone, and can be devastated when a close relationship ends. They have a strong fear of rejection. Okay, they feel like, uh, you know, in other words, if you become their friend, okay, they always ask you to do this. You always, what should I do? What can I do? What should I supposed to be? They ask you because they are afraid that you stop become their friend because they fear that you reject them something, right? So, like we need to say always yes to them, right? And then again, they feel uncomfortable and helpless if they are alone, and can be devastated when a close relationship ends. Okay, they have a strong fear of rejection, typically lacking in self-confidence. The dependent personality rarely initiates projects or does things independently. Again, they don't really have a self-confidence for their decision. They always rely their decision on others. Another one is obsessive personality disorder. Obsessive personality disorder is compulsive personalities or conscientious and have high levels alright, of aspirations. I have seen some people like this, right? Some of them they're old already, but they still have obsessive personality disorder. Why? They act to be. I mean, they try to be clean. Like during COVID-19, people wearing masks, right? Wearing face masks, but when they also wearing face masks, when they see some people walking around, they act like they don't care too much about themselves. They touch their mask. They act they don't show the face to us like that. Some people are like this. Okay. By the way, but they also strive for perfection. Okay. It's like when they wash their hands, they need to make sure it's very clean. They have to make sure that they use the soap or they use a good alcohol. All right. When they sleep, they have to make sure. I mean, their bed is clean. I mean, they always care about it. Okay, that they care, they just care about it. But who care about it? Who cares about it? Okay, if you wash with the soap is good. Okay, but then if they wash already, they still thinking that is it clean? Is nothing problem now? It's like that. Never satisfied with their achievements. People with compulsive personality disorder take on more and more responsibilities. Alright, let's talk about treatment personality disorder. I think, as a learner, I think it's important to know how to treat those kind of people. Let's say if you avoid them, so who will help them? Because we are studying education, right? At least we know how to treat those kind of people. Treatment can vary depending on the type of severity of your personality disorder. It may include, psychotherapy and medications. Actually, there are a lot of ways to treat them, but I just bring two ways that it can be helpful and useful, okay, in education. All right, as a guidance and counseling, it can be help us, okay, in this part as well. So let's talk about psychotherapy. Psychotherapy, psychotherapy or talk about therapy may help in managing personality disorders. Those kind of people, they need more talk. Okay, spend some time with them during psychotherapy. Let's say you and therapist can discuss your condition. Okay, as well as your feelings and thoughts. Okay, like what do you feel? What you're thinking. This can be provided you with insight on how to manage your symptoms and behaviors that interfere with your daily life. Alright, let us talk about daily life. Like, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? Okay, what's the plan? When you talk something about it, like make those kind of people that they have personality disorder understand. Okay, at least they provide you something, all right, and they will realize that you have something that they don't have, right? Your hobbies are different, your activity in your daily life are different. How about medication? Actually, people that they have problem with personality disorder, they use medicine, all right? So we're not allowed to give the medicine to them, because we just educator, but at least we know that kind of some medicines in medication that can be helpful for those people. Right? These aren't any drugs approved for the treatment of personality disorders. There's none. However, certain types of prescription medication might be helpful as well in reducing various personality disorder symptoms. Number one, you can use antidepressants. Antidepressants which can help improve depressed mood, anger, or impulsivity. This kind of medicine made for that kind when you have not in mood, you fast getting anger. It can be help you, right? And another one, mood stabilizers. I believe you're familiar with this kind of medicine, which prevent mood swings and reduce irritability and aggressions. Right? You feel mature, you feel like do it. Okay. Mostly this kind of medicine, people that I mean, they are bodybuilder. They like to use it. Another one, antipsychotic medications, also known as neuroleptics, which may be beneficial for people who often lose touch with reality. Alright? And the last one, anti-anxiety medication, which help relieve anxiety, agitation, and insomnia. Okay, let me sorry if I don't have much time to explain everything about this kind, but my purpose just to show you that you can use also medication to treat those kind of personality disorder. Alright, how about the outlook? How they look like when, how we know that kind of people they in personality disorder? Class A, Class B, Cluster A, Cluster B, or Cluster C. Sometimes we can see the outlook, right? The most important aspect of treating a personality disorder is the recognizing or recognition that the problem exists in the first place. Okay, people with this type of disorders become quiet. Uh, believe that their personality traits are normal. Okay, so if you see people that when we talk about the problem and they say it's okay, it's just simple for them, it's normal, they act like nothing happened, so they can be, so they can become quiet, upset. So when you again when you share about your daily life, your activity in your daily life, so they act upset because maybe they feel like they are different from your. Okay, so when someone suggests that they may have a personality disorder, so they will feel upset. Okay, if someone recognizes that they have a personality disorder and engage in treatment, they should see an improvement in their symptoms. Okay, so if they not, what happened is beneficial for friends or family members to be involved in their therapy sessions as well. It's also important for someone with personality disorder to avoid drinking. I think it's important, okay, because sometimes even we don't have any problem with personality disorder, and when we do drink alcohol, we cannot control ourselves. How about them? So they should be avoided drinking alcohol and using, illicit drugs, any kind of drugs that not allowed by the hospital or by the pharmacies or by the government. They should not be used. These substances can have a negative impact on emotions and interfere with treatment. Okay? So the question is, do you want to have them? I do. Alright, of course we want to have people that have problem, any kind of problem, include personality disorder. So if you are close to someone you suspect may have a personality disorder, you should encourage. Of course they need encouragement. Encourage them to seek help. Right? People those that have personality disorder, they need help. Alright? They need help, but we have to encourage them because they feel like they're normal. They feel like they're okay. So that's why encourage them. No, you're not okay. You need help. You have to do something. You have to go to some place. You need help. Okay? Seek more help. They may get angry, right? When they heard that, or if they're not angry, they get angry or defensive. But it's important to avoid arguing with them. At least you say, if even they're angry, even they try to say that no, 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 I'm okay, but the fact they're not. Okay, Instead, focus on expressions or expressing your feelings and voicing your concerns about their behaviors. Show them your care, right? If you want exactly to help them, show them, show them the needs with them, right? That they really need help. Okay, so thank you for the first part. Let us talk about types of phobias. I love this one. Okay, and you're familiar with this kind of types of phobias. Actually, let me explain. There's a lot of types of phobias, but I know there's a lot of time to talk about it, and I have no time, and we're also busy. So in the end of the lesson, I put some websites there, so you can click on it if you want to know more about types of phobias. All right, and this kind of types of beer, I brought it from the websites and also from the books that we used to study in our college. Okay, so what is the phobias? Let us talk about phobias first before we go to know about the types of it. When we talk about phobias, is an irrational fear of something that's unlikely to cause harm. All right, we all have kind of fear. Okay, we all have kind of fear, but that's why I believe that we have phobias in our life. The difference is we have fear, but we can control it. We have fear, but under our uh, management. We have fear, but we know what should we do. Okay, so the word itself comes from the Greek word phobos. The meaning is fear or horror. Okay, so let's go to know about types of phobias. Number one, or letter A, okay, is acluophobia. All right, when we talk about acluophobia, talk about fear of darkness. Are you fear with the darkness? You have acluophobia. Okay, like me, when I was a kid, I was so scary and fearful to the darkness. Some people they cannot sleep, right? If you not turn off the light. I was experienced in Bible school before. One of my friends, he always turn on the light, even he's sleeping, even he go to CR, wherever he live, wherever he's staying, he just turn on the light 24 hours if he there. Why? Because he had that kind of phobias. And some people they have fear of heights. Okay, when they just write that they don't have any kind of fear. But if you bring them to somewhere that high, right, they have that kind of fear. We call agoraphobia. Okay, and this kind of people they cannot take a plane. Okay, because they fear to be high. Okay, they fear to be high. They don't like to be high because it can be make them fearful. I experienced it was a woman. She told me that I cannot take a plane because I'm fear of high. Okay, actually true. How about the electrophobia? This is talk about fear of chickens. I cannot understand why the fear of chickens. You know why I don't understand? Because I don't have phobias that kind of type. If you are afraid and you fear of chickens, maybe you have. Alright, maybe they look at the chicken, they look at the mouth of chicken, they look at the fur of chickens, and the sound of chicken. Maybe make them fear, make them fearful. Alright, the another one is fear of public spaces of crowds. Those kind of people they want to be alone. Have you seen some people they want to be alone? They don't want to be. They can be joined with some party group or anything, but when they go out, when they saw the people is in the public, they feel that kind of people. The crowds of people. For me, I love to be crowds. I love to join with the crowds of people, like watching soccer match, joining the church service, do anything that many people there. I love it. But the kind of people that they have types of phobias, they just don't want to join, and we call agoraphobia. And last one in type A is androphobia, fear of men. This is happen to women. Okay, I don't know you guys that have kind of that. I mean, have that fear or not, but some people they just want to be close to women. They just want to be with their family, But if there's a man outside, they fear. If like, for instance, like when a person that the man visit in a family, and that kind of people that they hide themselves, they don't want to meet him, they don't want to talk with him, they scare, just fear, okay, because they have that kind of phobias. B, okay, bacterophobia. When we talk about bacterophobia, we talk about fear of bacteria. Let's say that we all have that kind of ties, but the problem sometimes we don't care. Okay, like we was a kid, we play a lot on the ground. Sometimes we don't care about dirty, but these kind of people they just scare. They fear that when they touch something, they cannot sleep. They just when they already wash their hand, they feel like it's not yet clean. Because they fear of that. They believe that there's a bacteria there, still, still alive, still there, still on their hand, like the picture that you're seeing. Right, and another one, Badmophobia. Badmophobia, when you talk, it's some similar like like it's not similar look like when you go to high, you're afraid or you fear. No, this is fear of stairs. It's like when at night, when you see the stairs and you feel scared because the way the stairs look like, the sound, especially when you're alone, you feel like that. Okay, sometimes they fear because of the fear of stairs. Sometimes they heard that people walking on the stairs at night, but actually nobody because they just have that kind of phobias. All right, another one is Beloni phobias, fear of pins and needles. Okay, let me say they feel something that small can be hurt them. Okay, something smallest that can be hurt them like a small stick. Again, like needles that they use to fake something. So they just try to be avoid those kind of because they scare and they fear to be hurt. They feel like it can be affect to their skin. It's also some of the plants they have. All right, like another one is bibliophobia is fear of books. I don't know why they have fear of books. I never seen before, but maybe true because when you go to library and then you read and you look through the book, there's a lot of books. Especially when you open the book, you see some picture or the sound of the books and something. They can have kind of fears of books. And the last one is connected with Beloniphobias, fear of needles. Why? Because Bethanophobia is fear of plants. Okay, they fear of everything that they saw like plants. I have fear when I was a kid when I went to a forest when I saw the big tree. Sometimes I have that kind of fear. Okay, but I can control myself. I believe that it's just a tree. But this kind of phobia, okay, they have that kind of fear. Alright, this is the last one. Oh no, no, this is not the last one. This is the C. Alright, C is talking about cacophobia, fear of ugliness. Alright, when they see somebody that bad, they just try to be avoid to them. Okay, they everything that ugly, they don't like. So some of you that ugly, try to run away from those kind of people because they afraid you, they fear of you. I'm kidding, especially the Nessa. Alright, I'm just kidding. Okay, so not only to person, but also to something that ugly. They just don't they just afraid and fear of it. Alright, and another one fear of mirrors. Alright, we call catophobias. When they look to the mirror, Alright, they always have that kind of feeling, something in the mirror. Uh, Sometimes they look their face, as the other person in the mirror. Sometimes have the sound from the mirror. It's not talk about horror movie, but because they have that kind of fear, all right? And another one, fear of colors. Okay, um, maybe some colors, all right, not all the colors. Maybe like white colors, they don't feel it, but sometimes when you wear it at night, something like that, it can be affect to them their feeling, all right? We call chromophobia. And another one, chromophobia, also fear of clocks. You know, when at night and then you hear the sound tuck 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 like that, it can make them fearful. And another one is cynophobia, fear of dogs. I believe we all have this kind of phobias, right? We fear of dogs. But for me, I love dog. I have emotion, a lot with dogs, so I have no any kind of fear to the dogs. All right. But some people they just are fearful to the dogs. Even sometimes the dog is just a puppy, they fear already. This is wrong. Okay, because they have kind of phobias. Even small dog, even the dog is so kind that they still fear. All right, last one, Z. Okay, Z is maybe you say A B C. Why no D? All right, because I skip it because I don't have much time. Like I say, you can go to the last of lesson. I have some websites there. You can go and see it. Okay, so Z number one is xenophobia, fear of jealousy. Okay, and you have kind of that feeling. Okay, sometimes we feel like people will be jealous to us. We have that kind of feeling, but they just don't want to do anything else because if they do, maybe people will jealous them. They just fear, okay? They just always thinking that this kind of people will jealous to me, this kind of people. But actually, sometimes we just don't jealous it. We just don't do it, but they just fear it. Okay, and another one, zoophobia. This is fear of God, of God. Sounds like we love God, we seek God, we follow God's will. No, I think it's not. Fear of God here is like, you know, when they hear the word of God, when talk about God, they just scared, they just don't want to involve. They just want to away from God or religions. This kind of people they fear with the truth, okay? Because of course, when the Bible say or anyone say about the Lord, it's just scary, okay? Make them fear that God will do this to them, that God will it can be kill them. They just fear. That's why they try to run away. The last one is zoophobia, fear of animals. So these kind of people they don't like to go to the zoo or the forest because they're afraid, they're fear of animals. There's no matter what kind of animal it is. All right, guys. So that's all for the lesson today. By the way, uh, all the lessons here is actually is happen to our life, right? Even personality disorders, types of phobias, actually is happen to us. The difference is we can control it and we know what should we do, right? And when it comes to guidance and couns- counseling, it's like we needed to have those kind of people. Okay, they need our guidance, they need our counseling. So I hope this lesson can be helpful for everyone each, and I hope you can apply it in your teaching, in your future teaching. All right. Thank you so much again to Karen that allowed me to have that kind of good lesson. So now I have to go. Thank you so much for spending your time to watch it, and I'm not sure how many people finish this video, but again, there's some of websites you can go and to see it. All right. So thank you so much. See you again next video. Bye bye.